Plaintiff Lisa Mesplay says soon after she started dating the defendant, he became controlling. Lisa claims one night during an argument, the defendant pulled a gun on her, grabbed her neck, and slashed her tires. And she's suing him today for breach of contract and car parts. Defendant Aaron Schneider says things with Lisa went south as a result of her insecurity. Aaron claims Lisa never trusted him, and she even hacked into his phone and Facebook account to spy on him. Aaron denies owing the plaintiff for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Aaron and I started dating in April 2016. Everything was great in the beginning, and then quickly things changed. He became very...
It must have been April 1st then. Go ahead.
Yeah. He became very controlling, harassing, just pretty rocky relationship. There was an incident where we had an issue, we had an argument, and we broke up, and I went to his house to return his belongings. And when I got to his house, he was in bed on top of another woman.
What did you go to the man's house for, though?
To return his belongings. I just wanted to be done.
Him?
What?
Why couldn't you call him?
Oh, well, I texted him and told him I was coming to return his
They
belongings.
walked in my house around midnight.
Did he say okay?
He said, oh, you can just burn my stuff.
Well, how didn't you?
Well.
Go ahead. You know what to do next time. Just have a wait and exhale party. You hear these sisters, they know. You gotta watch that movie. Angela Bassett will show you what to do.
Yes.
All right.
There were a lot of things I wish I could have done differently, definitely.
Yeah, well, don't do that. That's a crime. So I'm sorry. Don't let me encourage you to commit a crime. All right, and since that time, you all been in touch? Obviously, you have, because
yes, we've had
things you're suing him for, that happened before? Attendance to his house, or the?
No, that happened in February 2017.
All right, sir, you give me some background here.
Like Lisa said, we met in April. She was kind of contacting me back and forth, Facebook and whatnot. She had a boyfriend at the time.
No, I didn't.
I thought she did. I don't know. Maybe she didn't.
Right.
Anyway, we finally met up, went out. Things were going great, like she said, for a while. Things got a little bit rocky towards the end.
How so? What happened?
Well, she had, I guess, a little bit of insecurity issues with just trusting me in general. I found out that she was logging into my Facebook, hacking into it, hacking into my text messages for, I don't know, it was like a month and a half when I first noticed it. Like, that's...
Were you doing all that?
He told me I could.
Why would you want to?
Because I didn't trust him, because he's always reaching out to women, trying to have somebody on the side just in case we got into an argument and he had somebody he could go jump in bed with.
Where did you get that information from?
Through his text messages. He had messages where he was having his ex-girlfriend come over to his house when I was at work, because he works at his house.
And he told you to look at my text, and sure enough, that's what you had.
He said, you can look through my phone anytime you want to. He gave me his password and everything.
I always left my phone unlocked, but I didn't ask her to log into and read all my messages for a month and a half. That was kind of ridiculous, I thought.
Absolutely not true.
Every single message that came in left from my phone.
It was ridiculous for you to think that you can hand her your phone and that she wasn't going to...
I honestly just trust people. Like, I don't need to lock anything. I've got nothing to be ashamed of.
That is
we were separated when I had a friend over and I was sick, and she did come in around midnight.
It was described by a doctor.
Yeah.
No.
Just follow the
I am guilty of that. Okay.
Your Honor, he paints a good picture. He paints a good picture.
There's a couple
really
ways to take that. I got a couple buddies of mine. They tell me their exploits. I say, man, you sick. So I don't know which sick you mean. Could be your exploits or could have been physical.
Your Honor, can I say something else?
Go ahead.
We went to a wedding in June of 2017, and once again, we had an issue with another woman reaching out to him. We got into a huge argument. We went back to his house. I grabbed my stuff. He pulled out a gun on me, told me to get out of his house. That is absolutely true. When I went to go get my phone that he took, he pushed me out of the way, and in the meantime, he ran up against my throat with his hand, and then slashed my tire, so I couldn't leave. And I have a police report.
Let's see your police report. Sir, did any of this happen?
I was found not guilty of all of that.
I dropped the charges because he begged for me to get back together with him, and I believed all of his
Any
lies.
of it happen, sir?
Yes, I did. I did grab a pocket knife and put a slash in her tire because I didn't want her driving home intoxicated.
How about the gun? Now you're trying to make a fool out of me. Let's move quickly, because now he's trying to make a fool out of me. Yeah, you're suing him over parts. How does he owe you breach of contract in parts?
So in February of 2017, he had a car that needed some engine work, and my son needed a car. So I asked him if he wanted to sell it to me. He said yes. So we agreed on $3,500, which would be for the cost of the car and the parts and repairs that he was going to do since he's a mechanic. So I have two bill of sales here. First one states that I gave him $1,500 up front so he could start purchasing some of the parts and doing the work. And the second one was about a month later where I paid him all in full because he said he was out of money and needed more money, but he's never completely finished the job on the car. And the car does not run and has never ran. So my son's been out of a car, so I had to purchase something else for him to get back and forth to school and work. So I have those bill of sales.
Let's see it. Sir, what do you say to the bill of sales she's provided me? And what do you say in general to her allegations?
I did have a car at the time. I buy and sell a lot of cars every year. I'm in the auto repair business. I have been since I was 16 years old. I had that vehicle. Her son was supposed to get a vehicle when he was 16. That didn't happen, unfortunately. He's a really good kid. I had a vehicle that, it needed some body work and needed some finishing, and I did everything I could. And I told her when I sold her that car, I sold it for what I had in it. I didn't make any money on the car. So
I gave you what you asked for, though. You asked for $3,500. That's what I agreed to.
And that's what I had. That's what I had in the vehicle. So I made $0 on a $7,000 car. Anyway, I was trying to help them out.
Help them out. You received $3,500, and did you deliver what she paid you for?
I gave her the car and everything I had bought, and I
completed. Did you give it to her?
The car was not completed. The car still needed a timing belt put on it.
So she ended up helping you out.
Yes.
Because she paid you $3,500, you didn't give her what she paid for, but yet you say you were helping them out. I think your logic is a little twisted there, because for you to expect me to believe that you slashed her tires so that she wouldn't drive drunk, and she gives such a detailed explanation, and the police take that report and believe her. The prosecutor even asked if she wanted restitution because they believed you did it. They charged you, and she dropped the case. Otherwise, you would have been found guilty, no doubt, because they offered restitution. Lastly, sir, this about you helping them out once again. Something is going on with you, because you don't give $3,500 to a person. They return the car in ill repair, and you think you've helped them out. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,500. Have a good day.
I am actually just happy to be done with this case. He has held this over my head for months now, and I'm just finally done and clear of him.
I originally, thought I was doing them a favor by giving them a vehicle, that they didn't have the money for at the time. So I felt like I was trying to do them a favor. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to finish the job in the time that she needed. So I did the best I could for her.